Welcome to the rookie lap. We raced on the base. Navy edition. And once in a lifetime. Never done before. Will it ever be done again? I guess you want to start there.
Yeah, that's a good place to start. I think I got a different opinion than a lot of people from what I've read. I think they had an 83 point something percent approval rating.
Yeah, a lot of people loved it.
Yeah, a lot of people loved it. But I think it's a lot of people that probably aren't normal NASCAR fans that got excited by it. So that in itself is a good thing.
Yep.
That's definitely good for the sport.
Yeah, I think it's good. Another thing with Ben Kennedy being in charge now, he's showing that that good mix, I think, of we're going here, we're bringing in, it said 60-something% new fans, and then a couple weeks from now, we're going back to North Wilkesboro. And so I think it's the good balance of let's try to get some new people and let's do stuff for the old crowd too.
Yeah, I guess you're not in an area there that has traditional NASCAR fans so much.
Yeah.
So you're going to get that, and I'm certain from what I saw that you got a lot of the Navy guys and that out there. So that was a good portion of the crowd.
Yeah, and they need to be in that area because there's no, now that we've lost Auto Club, there's no racing over there in South California.
Yeah.
So they need something out there, and it don't seem like Auto Club's coming back at this point. Apparently a bunch of that property's been bought up and everything's torn down. But yeah, the only thing is I've seen a lot of people talking about the feel. They said that this kind of felt like a crown jewel event. It was really huge.
No, they're just hyped up.
Well, that's the thing. It was so hyped up. You had they were talking about the sponsor activation stuff they had set up out there and how it was way bigger than really anywhere else. Red Bull, they're actually getting back into the sport with Shane and Connor.
I mean, they had a whole corner with nothing but
Red
Bull.
Yeah, they had the whole Red Bull corner with a 3-story built building that they said they put up in like 2 days. Said that was real nice. Napa had their own setup, Legacy, and they said like at the drivers' meeting that they started it and all the driver's seats were empty, and then they did this huge smoke show and each driver walks out with a set of sailors around them.
Yeah.
And so that just made it this huge event that they don't really do anywhere else. So that made it big. No, Connor Zillis was talking about, they caught him on the radio, he was going around the track and he said, hey, I just saw the Kelsey brothers and Patrick Mahomes on a ship out there.
Yeah.
And they were there checking it out. There were some other sports TV personalities there.
I think that kind of plays into something. I don't know if you saw it that Richard Petty said this week about the state or the changes, I guess, over the years in NASCAR, where it's come from to where it is.
I didn't see his.
Yeah, he was just basically saying, yeah, this is where we are now. He didn't say it was a bad thing. He just said, I guess it's a natural progression. It went from being just purely about racing to now more on entertainment.
Yeah, it has to be an event because attention spans. People don't, unless you're a fan like we are, most people don't want to go sit there and watch cars go around for 3 hours.
Think about it, I guess, from the perspective of what he said, though. He started racing in, 1958, 59, yeah. So what did you have to entertain yourself with in 1958? Not a lot. So that was just in itself to go get to see a race, man. That was huge.
Mm-hmm.
I was never, as a young man in the early 60s or the late 60s, I didn't have the opportunities. I mean, my mom and dad weren't into going to things like that, so we didn't do it. I didn't have friends I don't know anybody that went to go watch a NASCAR race until probably I got into my teens.
Yeah.
I kept up with it as much as I could with what was just basically in the newspaper, or when they finally came out with some periodicals that you could read about it, I would. But yeah, it was a different era, and it's going to be a different.
Yeah.
like you said, the attention span now is much shorter than it used to be. But that's, I guess, just a progression of things with the media that's out there now.
Yeah. Well, so I guess with the whole point of whether we're doing this again, it's sounding like they are wanting to do this again and that they are going to do their best to do it again. And my only concern, I wouldn't mind it, but at the same time, I feel like it's going to be one of those things. It was novelty, and that's why it was cool. And if you go back and do it too many times, people are going to start complaining and really get sick of it really fast because it won't be something cool and new anymore. But
And I think we had this discussion before, that what if you did it at a different venue every year?
yeah,
Would that be good?
Yeah.
I just don't know, but I mean, it's easy to hype up that way because you do hit a whole new crowd of people that are able to see it.
yeah,
And you throw out some new challenges for the drivers as well.
yeah, that's true. But-
Some real new challenges this
Yeah.
weekend.
But I guess my final thing on this point, I want to give a congrats to NASCAR because up to Saturday, there was a lot of at-track fans complaining that places were running out of food, transportation was terrible, people were walking like 2 hours to get to their seats and stuff. And NASCAR heard this Sunday. Apparently they opened the gates earlier, got traffic through way smoother, brought in more food trucks. So they were being very responsive to issues and doing their best to get things
I guess,
fixed.
yeah. There's another side to that too, though, Austin. Do they normally have that to deal with on a
No?
truck and O'Reilly's race? You know,
Yeah, no.
all of a sudden they were probably overwhelmed with, oh wow,
Yeah.
we haven't seen this.
Yeah, because Saturday was sold out 50,000 people.
Yeah.
And that's bigger than some cup tracks they go to.
Right. So yeah, it just, I'm sure they were overwhelmed with it. Oh my God, we underestimated what's going to happen today.
Yeah. But that just shows the power of the event and the marketing behind it and everything they did. Even they made the movie about it. I got a chance to watch it. I don't know if you did, but
Yeah, I did.
I mean, it was a cool show. Apparently, it was based off of the Maverick Top Gun
Oh yeah,
movie
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah,
and
yeah.
just the personality and Blaney, and you got Hocevar and Zillish and Gregson all in there, and flying jets and doing burnouts around the watermelon, and it's just cool to see them going for this and taking the steps they need to get back out there with these kind of things and showing the personalities. And I think we are definitely on a upward trajectory way more than we have been in the last 10, 15 years.
And do you think some of that's because Kennedy's more of this age?
Yeah. I think because of him, and the drivers are starting to be younger, like Connor. Connor knows social media. It's always been around his whole life. So
Right, yeah.
it's getting to the drivers now where that's all they've known too. So yeah, but I thought the weekend was a success as a whole. Saturday got me a little worried, but I think everything else was good in my opinion.
Do you think that the entertainment was better than the racing? Is that a good way to ask that question? You understand what I'm asking?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, maybe, but I also thought that the racing was way better than it has been on other road courses and stuff.
Okay.
I think Denny said that the other road courses they go through, you're lucky to have 2 or 3 passing zones, and this one had 5. And so I don't know. I think it just provided a good race too. And I mean, I guess we can get into Sunday. We didn't have to deal with Shane leading by 10 seconds the whole day, so you instantly had more of a battle than you've seen in 2 or 3 years, pretty much.
Yeah, I think, yeah, part of that also was maybe that he was one of 30 6 cars that were saying they had no grip. They had no grip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no forward grip at all. No forward grip at all. That was the name of the game there.
But I've seen a lot of people saying that they think it was still going to be SVG dominant and that he was just waiting or whatever.
I think he was getting there. I really do. I think he was getting there. Yeah. You know, it took him a minute to figure things out, but I think I could be wrong. I mean, we'll never know, but it looked to me like that maybe he was getting to the point that it was going to be his race to lose.
Yeah.
If he got in a position to be near the lead.
All right. Well, yeah, I was just curious what you thought the way they were talking in the race, I remember were just like two different things. They were like, yeah, he was just laying back waiting, and I was like, he fell back multiple spots. He was getting ran over by Priest. Priest knocked him out of the way.
At the very first, yeah, and I think honestly he didn't have the grip and he didn't want to destroy his car.
Yeah.
Like I said, I can be way off base. I wasn't in there with him. I wasn't a part of the team. But it looked as the race progressed until that they got into that mess that I think they were getting the car to what he wanted to drive, and he was starting to show some pretty good speed at that point.
Yeah.
But we'll never know.
Nope. Well, what do you think happened with that wreck? You blame him, Hill?
He'll blame himself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, SVG was very aggressive at that point. I think he thought Hill was going to mat it and go, and that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And he was committed 100%. Way too early to be driving that hard, I guess.
Yeah.
All he had to do was let him sort it out and get by him if the car was that good. It was just.
And he had actually tried, because remember they were 3 wide right there, and he lifted and let him go.
Right, and he did lift, yeah,
and
then he got back on it hard, I guess, assuming that Hill was going to go.
Yeah.
And he didn't.
But I did feel like Shane was being way more aggressive than usual, because I think, yeah, the car possibly could have been getting better, but it still wasn't what he was used to being, like outstanding, just unbeatable. I think he was actually putting in more effort than usual.
Yeah.
And because there was that, and then when he spun Busher, and Busher made that parking lot, and they all got back rolling without wrecking, but he moved Busher around too, so.
Yeah. That would have been, I guess, one of the big things that, and that's not specific just to this track, but that's one of the things I don't like about it when they got those real tight quarters at a race and making the parking lot like you just said.
Yeah.
If there was a way to get around that.
Yeah. But like you said, it was impressive that they just got through that one and nobody actually wrecked.
Oh, yeah.
They just all stopped and then got back rolling.
Yeah, they're riding with their foot ready to hit the brakes there. I mean, when they're in them tight spots, I'm certain they're riding around.
Hocevar on his thing said it was funny because the spotters were coming over just saying, wrecking, and he said you could tell everybody around him was getting the same information because you'd see a guy, he'd be rolling and he'd go, slow down, and people were slowing down at different times and people waving out the window. Because he said they couldn't actually see the wreck because it was around the corner, so they all just started slowing down, creeping around.
Yeah, what's up there?
Yeah. But, yeah, so they got through that one. I don't know, let's jump to the end of the race. I guess we mentioned Hocevar. What about Heim and the Hocevar? They got into it a little bit.
Okay.
One got into the other.
Yes. So now everybody wants that to be a big rivalry. Do you think that will happen?
Yeah. Because I think it's already been happening. They've been on a little different paths the last couple of years and not racing together, but
I think you have the two personalities there that, yes, that's definitely a maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It could very easily happen. You know Hocevar's not going to back down.
You know.
Heim's kind of very reserved and quiet, but in the car, I don't think so much. He's been known to do a little pushing and shoving to get what he wants. So.
Yeah, so I think it could start next year when they're both in there full time.
Are we looking at the next Dale Earnhardt and Jeff Bodine deal here where they got to put them in a car and take them to dinner?
I don't know.
Tell them you're not ruining my sport. I don't think it'll get to that, but yeah, I think if they get close to each other, they're both going to be going. I need to put myself in the right position here.
Yeah, but I think the good thing is they're both appearing as though they're not going to cry about it when one gets the other.
No.
Because from what Hocevar said, he was like, I had that coming for the last 4 years. That was fair.
Right.
And I'm looking forward to racing him back hard next year.
Yeah.
And I don't think Heim's ever cried about much of anything, really. Like when, I don't know, he got in it with Honeycutt a couple weeks ago, and he was like, get thicker skin. So
Yeah. I remember a time a while back. Yeah. He kind of went overboard a little bit with the Whamburger, but nothing terrible.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see, but it was funny. I just showed you that, or you'd already seen the video he reposted of Hocevar.
Yeah, I didn't realize that that's what he had put out there.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he was the one that put that out there with what Hocevar had said.
It's gotta be a good, funny feeling to have your own words used against you, I guess.
Yeah.
Move, get out of the way, and get right. But anyway, that was exciting. But was Heim on your bingo card to win this one?
100% not.
Oh, really?
No.
13 starts, and he is now a winner on a road course before Connor's Illish.
If you'd asked me, could that happen? I would have said, oh yeah, it could happen. The boy's got uber talent, but
yeah,
did I think it was going to happen? No.
Yeah.
I know.
And the way that he did it.
Well, some people say it was given to him.
Yeah,
but
that's where I'm kind of headed, I guess.
Okay.
So, what is your thoughts? Him and Reddick get together, and
I'm not going to go as far as the one. Yeah, I'm not going to go as far as the one you read earlier, calling Reddick names. But he went way beyond what I would have thought a driver would to give up the spot. I understand the whole teammate thing and all that, but it's just, and I know he's, working at the points lead and all that, but still, he just about parked it and stopped just to let him go.
Well, that's the thing. If you're fighting for the points championship, regular season championship here against Denny. Denny is on you now.
Yeah.
Heim, he's just out there for experience at this point. Why? That's 15 points. You just said, all right, you can have them.
Yeah.
Or he didn't want to have them. He's just going to win the race. So there's 15 points just out the window. And from what it sounds like you say, he didn't even just let him roll. He couldn't just go. Like, at that point, Reddick was not even in the game anymore. It was over.
Yeah.
He was not getting back with how far he let him go.
That's got to be his personality alone, because that's definitely not the personality of either of his team owners.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan would jump over your head in a basketball game to win it.
That's what.
Or even if they were 37 points down, he's still going to do everything he can to try to make it some kind of awesome comeback. And we know, Denny's not one to give up a shot at a win.
Yeah.
So that's a Reddick thing.
Denny said that that's just exactly Reddick's personality. He said that's how it is, and
yeah, I
keep mentioning, but like we know, Hocevar hosted the Dell Junior download this week, so I don't listen to it. And he said, "Yeah, can you just think back to Michael Jordan doing something dirty with the ball?" And he's like, "No, actually, that wasn't fair right here. You can have the ball back. I'm gonna try to do it in a nice way."
Yeah,
no. That ain't happening.
No.
But whatever. I mean, it was still in house, I guess. But yeah, most other people probably would not have done that.
Yeah, the only way I could ever see myself doing that in a race car, if we were at a track racing and one of my teammates, needed that to win the championship, and I was in 14th place in points or something and just had no shot.
Yeah.
That would be the only way I could imagine that. I've had a bunch of teammates and raced against them, and I raced them to, just as hard. And that's, not to destroy nobody's car, but get after it. Don't just give it away.
Yeah.
So whatever, that's it. That's it. He's in the car and I'm not.
Yeah, and regardless, it's got to be.
He can drive. I mean, he's not proven that this year.
That's what I'm about to say. It's got to be somewhat easier to let him roll when you've already got 30 wins or however many is that.
Yeah.
So, all right, more contact. Noah Gragson versus Kevin Magnuson, the F1 transfer come over guy for Trackhouse this time. Uh,
Oh,
thoughts there?
well, I don't know if I've seen all the videos. Every video I've seen is showing Magnuson being overly aggressive. But
Yeah,
I read a whole lot that it was tit for tat,
yeah,
but I just haven't seen it. Apparently, nobody's posting those videos where Gregson was beating on him.
yeah. From what I've heard, I think they said Noah got into him about 4 times, but that Kevin got into him about 3. But they're saying that Magnuson's whole deal the entire race and how he was getting around guys is outbreaking them. He'd go in the corner and just outbreak them to get around them. Well, he got to Noah. They said Noah anticipated that and he was ready for it, and so he blocked it. And so he was just playing defense, and I guess probably Noah putting the hand out the window and whatever. And
Yeah.
I think Magnuson just decided, all right, because he said it himself in the interview. He's like, I've watched NASCAR. I know how y'all play. So he's like, I'm just going to wreck him. That's what y'all do here. And I heard that even in F1, where we know they don't touch each other, he's been taken out of races for too much contact. So
Right,
that's
yeah, I've
just his
seen that he
personality.
does have a history of that.
But, yeah, I don't know. My question for you is, though, what do you do to this guy who's here for a one-off race, who intentionally wrecked the guy pretty much? What do you do? Fine him? I mean, you can't take points. Just please don't do that again.
No, I think that one just belongs like all the other times, and of course they weren't racing for a win or even a top 20 at that point.
Yeah.
But I think you just have to go to the trailer and we discuss things. We sit down and have a discussion. You know, yes, we do a little pushing and shoving and beating and banging, but do we really need to do that for 30th place?
Yeah.
He needs to understand if this is something that he desires to do more of, that's not up in his stock to be able to get a ride.
Yeah. But I don't think he'll be back unless Trackhouse decides to run him again.
Yeah. Yeah, that may be a one and done deal. We'll see.
I don't know.
We'll see. I don't think that's as big of a deal as a lot of people make it want to be. We all know how Gregson is. He's not going to hold his tongue.
Yeah.
Had it been somebody else, maybe a Riley Herbst or something, the first couple little bumps, they would have probably let him go.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, do you have anything else specific from the race? I think those are the main points.
Yeah, there's all kind of things. The race, I don't know if they do decide to do it there again. I think maybe that they need to tweak the track in some areas.
Yeah.
To maybe make it more racer friendly. I don't know. I don't live there. I wasn't able to see the track, but I think there's certainly got to be a way to do that.
Yeah.
What can be done about the wall situation? Because here's what some people, I guess, aren't understanding. There were some of those walls that got moved real bad, right?
Yeah.
What if somebody came along at speed and clipped the wall with it already that way? Got bumped into it head on or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually something they were talking about on the thing.
I don't know the answer to those things, but it's definitely a few things that would need to be tweaked for safety and just maybe. And I know Denny said there were a lot of passing points, but there were a lot of easy to keep somebody from passing you points too.
Yeah.
That was a tremendous one.
For the wall situation, it's hard to know what to do, I guess, because a lot of the drivers have actually said we love it moving because it kind of takes some of the impact out of the hit.
Yeah, there's that makes good sense. But like I say, if the wall gets turned just exactly the wrong way and somebody barrels in their head on, then that could be tragic.
Hocevar actually said it on the show, like, we love that it took the energy out, and at the same time, yeah, we're lucky that somebody didn't go through and it rips the car open or something.
Right.
So, I don't know, but, like we say, if they're coming back, they're probably going to work on improving things just for the first time deal. And
I still want to see them go through a hangar, though.
yeah, Something Carson actually said too.
Yeah, that would just be crazy to see him coming out the other side of the hangar. Yeah, I'm sure they don't want that. Somebody get pushed off. Well, they could put barriers up where they couldn't get to the doors, I guess, or the walls on the other side.
Yeah. Well, the deal with those walls, though, I actually listened to the guy who's in charge of constructing everything over the whole thing, and he said that they had to bring all those barriers in. I think they brought in somebody said 3,000 something of those walls.
Yeah.
From Vegas and I can't remember the other place over there, but anyway, they had to haul them with 18-wheelers, and they said those walls are so heavy that they can only load like 5 or 6 at a time.
Oh yeah. I've set them up before. Yeah, they're not light.
Thousands of them, so that's just crazy.
Yep.
But I guess mentioning going through the hangar and stuff, I just thought it was funny. Carson was talking about that stuff, and he said that, ultimately the industry was robbed from a Hocevar win, because he said if he won, he was going to go through one of the cuts in the track to go off onto the actual base and do a burnout. And then he said he was going to jump out and go jump in the water and make the Navy come get him.
And he probably would have, and then he might be sitting down there with that other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, the only other thing, I want to mention this, it's not much to talk about with it, I guess, but Shane, people complaining about him and his dominance, I guess, but just adding to how likable the dude is, they asked him before the race, they're like, how do you feel that everyone's just handing you this win and they're talking about just racing for second? And he said, it makes me mad because I feel like it disrespects my competition. These guys are very good and they have what it takes to come out here and win, and it's not fair to talk about them that way. And whether you believe that's true or not, I guess how humble he is cool.
What was his word?
Oh, he said he was filthy.
Yeah, somebody needs to let us know what we know what we read, but I'm not sure that that's right.
Yeah, all the Shane fans, because once again, our Watkins Glen episode got about 10 to 20 times as many views as all our others because it was about Shane. So, all of the Shane fans, stick around.
Yeah, please. Let us know what filthy means.
Yeah. But
in that context, I guess.
Moving past the actual race, we have to talk about it. We were mentioning points. Denny, in the most unlikely scenario, comes out of here cutting in some more, is now only -8 with 9 races to go.
Yeah, and you never heard his name all day. He didn't do anything spectacular. He just ran mid front package, would you say?
Yeah, about
15. Yeah. Just enough to. And I guess by his own admission, he doesn't do road courses or street tracks or nothing, and he's not going to, apparently.
Yep.
This is just a throwaway race. Let me see if I can get a top 20 and go home happy.
Yep. Other mentions. Well, I guess him being -8, you thinking he's going to win the regular season championship? Because it seems like Reddick's just throwing the points away.
Well, he's come on like a ball of fire, hasn't he? Yeah.
Yes. I got my money on Denny to take this points lead within the next 3 races.
Yeah.
If Reddick can stretch it back out at Sonoma.
Yeah, he does have that going for him, but.
Yeah, but after that, it's turning left.
Yeah.
And Denny seems to do good at that.
Yeah, and he's really the only one in even any kind of contention to get to him.
Yeah. But the other thing I want to mention, Larson actually, for the first time all year, has jumped up to 4th in points. And he spent most of the year not in the top 5.
Yeah, still -180. I'm looking at it now.
Yeah.
But nowhere close enough to threat, I don't think, without something really crazy happening.
No, but he's finally up there to the 4th spot, and that is a tight race. He's only 1 point ahead of Gibbs and another 1 point ahead of Elliott.
Yeah, but those guys there, once we change and restart the points, they're going to be sitting in a good position.
Yeah.
So that's something to battle for, I guess.
Yeah, and that's a tight battle right there. I want to mention Briscoe. He's finally in the top 10 in points with the year that he's been having.
Yeah.
His first time. And Priest, I guess, back to the race. 19 out of 20 possible stage points. Finishes 11th, I believe. Leaps all the way back into the chase from, I think he was about 19th or 20th after a few bad races. And now he is in the chase, knocked out SVG on a day that SVG should have made a huge gain.
Yeah.
Shane's now -5.
Yeah, Priest was 11th with 45 points.
Yeah.
That's a good day. Even 11th. Matter of fact, he was the highest scoring in points, tied with AJ Allmendinger.
Yeah, so very solid day there.
Yeah, Blaney with 44. Yeah, that's it.
Back in the chase.
Him and AJ got the most points because Heim didn't get any points.
Well, AJ's another one on my mention here. He came away with the top 5. No simulator there. They don't have a sim. He's the only guy that never got to see the track until he was there.
Yeah.
Didn't know what to set up. Still gets top 5. And now with none of this support, we keep talking about it every couple weeks. He's now only 21 points out of the chase against these guys that are getting sim every week. And
well, he didn't run nothing else this weekend, did he?
No.
That would have been a golden opportunity for them to put him in something else.
But what else? I guess they could have put him in the 25 truck instead of McMurray.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Give him something out there to get him used to the track.
Yeah. But still, they're only 21 points out of the chase in that situation that they're in. I mean, you got to give them so much credit.
Yeah, I mean, he's ahead of some people that have a whole lot more resources than he does, for sure.
Yeah. And Ross he got a top 10, I think.
Yeah, he was 7th.
And creeping back forward, he's still got work to do, obviously, but he's only 40 points out with 9 races to go. So that's possible if they can just keep chipping away and coming back in the right direction. So I just want to mention that.
They still don't have the speed in their car at the other tracks, but maybe they'll get it.
Yeah.
I hope so. That's my guy.
Yeah. Well, that's what I want to ask you. With SVG missing his one of 2 huge points opportunities, and now actually coming out of the road course being knocked out of the chase, do you think he's going to be able to get back in and hold his spot, or is he done for?
You know what his finishes are at Sonoma?
First?
Yeah.
He won last year.
Yeah, he sure did. So,
but that's the thing. He possibly gets back in the chase next week, but then he's got to hold on to it for 8 overs.
Yeah, that's true. That's going to be tough because some of the other guys are getting better, looking better at some of the other tracks. I mean, and you got, let's look at what you got behind him back here.
Brad behind him.
Let me go back to the standings.
Yeah, standings.
Yeah.
17th or 18th.
So, yeah, you got Joey right behind him, and honestly, I think they've got a little better.
Yeah, they have.
They're not there yet by no means, but I think they've gotten better, and if they're better, they're probably going to be better than Shane.
Yeah.
Brad the same way. AJ's, man, they've had speed they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
McDowell's whole team is fast, so I think he's probably the weak link right now as far as
for sure.
As oval tracks. And then, of course, Ross, if they could, get theirs rolling right.
Zane
Smith's been stupid fast for some reason lately. Other than that, I don't think you got much else behind him that he's got to worry about.
Yeah, but that's like.
I mean, there are some other guys that could have,
guys.
Great races, but yeah.
And he's got to outrun at least one ahead of him.
Right.
So.
And the ones ahead of him are pretty solid.
Yeah.
And honestly, well, I didn't think about it, but let's see where. No, John Hunter's in 27th at 4:18, so he's 3:54. Yeah, he's a pretty good ways back. Their whole team as a whole on the ovals has gotten way better.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of strong competition behind him. It's going to be tough. He needs to He needs to be shooting for all the stage points and as close to the top 10 as he can finish every week after this weekend.
Yeah.
But he needs every point he can gain. He needs to figure out how to win both stages and the race.
Well, fortunately for him, this is the road course, I believe, last year that he flipped the stage and still won the stage.
And they were probably
so
counting on a
fast.
40-something point or, day Sunday. That didn't
sure.
happen. Yeah, right. So they lost that. They lost 40 points there.
Yeah. And I guess I forgot to mention him. Well, we said Zane fast. He got a 4. Shout out to him. And then Bubba. Bubba loses the tire, has a meltdown on the radio.
2 laps down.
2 laps down and comes back and drives to second on a road course.
He was fast all day.
Yeah.
The speed wasn't a problem. But that was 100% on the team. Y'all heard me say when we were watching the race, they didn't get his right front tire or lug nut tight. They didn't get his right front lug nut tire. I saw it. Why didn't they stop him and tell him to back up, jack the car up, and tighten it up? I don't understand. Somebody on that team needs to call in or send us a message or to explain to us why didn't they go back and tighten it up. They knew they didn't get it tight. They knew they didn't. The guy was chasing the car and falling down on pit road trying to get the lug nut tight. He knew it didn't happen, but yet they went right out on the racetrack. Makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, no clue. But Bubba was a solid 35th place driver on road courses about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So huge improvement.
But he's one of the ones that has taken a lot of time, according to what he said, though, to do a lot of learning. I think he's been to some of the different schools and done a lot to try to improve it.
So there's that, and then we mentioned him coming back from the tire and 2 laps down, and like we've said,
that was a lucky break in some ways. He did get a lucky break to get 2 laps back, but he made the most of it.
But like we've said in past, old Bubba, when that
he'd have
tire
melted
came
down.
off, that would have been the day. It would have been over.
Yeah, he'd have melted down, tore the wall down, and probably ran over 3 or 4 people that he had, an argument with that week. Yeah, who knows? But yeah. So
just the improvement there is, he deserves a shout out.
And where's he at now? He's 11th.
Yeah, that's what he salvaged a good points day on a day that he was looking that he was going to have big problems.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. You want to move to Saturday?
Sure.
All right. Austin Hill gets the 54 out of the way and wins his first road course race after, I think he said 16 top 5s on road courses. So he's had it coming for a while, but
there's been a stack of them.
Executes, gets the win, blows the tires off. Coincidentally, gets picked up by the number 8 tow truck.
Yeah, he sure did.
Says that he had a little help from Kyle, but celebrates them. That's RCR's first win since Kyle's passing,
But he was fast all day.
He was.
He looked good all day. I tell you what, though, I don't remember if I told you this before. I honestly believe that if anybody had a shot to beat him, it would have been Quaffle.
Yeah. And we were going to get to that.
Yeah.
But I guess my only other thing with Austin in that situation is Richard Childress. I'm assuming you saw him crying.
Yeah.
He's just one of them people that I don't ever imagine him crying about nothing. So just, I guess, to see what Kyle meant to him that much it's cool, but
yeah,
it sucks. But oh well. They actually said that the Navy, what's the word? The Navy, I can't think of the word, but the Navy presented them a flag from one of their USS Macon, one of their ships, I guess, that went to war.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Anyway, yeah, so Tequapel, he seemed to have the best car. And was going to win it until he wasn't.
Yep, I think he has a problem. My problem that I think he has, and I can be off here, but what I see in him, is he is a mirror driver when he gets out front.
Mm-hmm.
I watched some of the other guys when they were showing their in-car out front, and Reddick was one of them. And I know they got that big camera in their car, but you didn't see his eyes focused nowhere but ahead when he was leading the race.
Yeah.
I know that didn't work out exactly right for him either, but it just, watching Quaffle, and maybe I'm completely off here, maybe the car got away from him or whatever, but it just, to watch him in the car and watch the manner that the car drove, it looked like he was paying more attention to what was behind than what was ahead. And that seems to be something that I've seen with him in the car. I think maybe he needs to have a sit down with Junior and maybe a couple of other guys that have won some of those races and explain to him, hey, don't worry about that. You know, it's going to come. Just drive your race.
Yeah. Well, if it makes you feel any better, Denny agrees with you.
Really, I haven't heard anything. Okay.
He didn't say that exact thing, but he said that Carson he's one of those, when he gets out front, he starts being more conservative, and because you don't want to screw up, so he starts backing up his entries and slowing down here and giving up time there, and then all of a sudden he's letting them back in the fight.
Yeah.
And he said, like, looking back to when Denny won by 11 seconds at Michigan, he said the difference between these guys is, like, when he says, when I took the lead at Michigan, I wanted to step on their throat. I wanted them to not even think that they had a shot at getting back to me, so I left.
Right.
And people like Carson, they let them get back to him, and then all of a sudden Taylor Gray, he's like, I got a shot at this again. And then what happened.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
You talking about the deal with Gray and Hill?
Yeah, no, when Gray spun Carson.
Oh. That was a little rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say that one was a little rough. Not what I expected out of him. I honestly thought he'd always been a real clean driver.
Me too.
Somebody, you're gonna have your days, I guess. So maybe that's a one and done deal, but that one was pretty rough.
Yeah, I agree with you. I figured, especially after him getting that treatment at Martinsville just last year, and in the truck race the year before that.
Yeah.
That he'd probably be like, oh, that's not the way to do things.
Right.
But I don't know, maybe he claims that he will hop, but I don't think many people believe him.
He will hop, not giving him much room. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
At least own it if you did it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess moving back into the actual race, though, we had the huge 23 car pileup with Sam Mayer blocking the track.
You talk about owning it. He owned it.
Yeah, and
if you ever saw anybody screwing up, it was him.
Talking about opposite. You'd think Taylor'd be the guy to not do what he did, and Sam would be the guy to be like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
He's been a guy in the past to be pretty rough.
No, and he just missed. He just missed it a little bit. Is all he did. It wasn't like he did something stupid and ran over somebody. He just missed it.
I got him. I'm going to apologize to every single person in this garage.
Which
I'm
was real surprising. Yeah.
Just terrible. I suck. Whatever. Well,
no, I didn't see nobody had any harsh words for him though. I think the reasonable drivers that were on the track had been around there enough to know that that's all it took was just a couple inches one way or the other and that to happen.
Yeah, they said that wall right there was actually so low when you're in the car and whatever that you can't see it.
Yeah.
And so you don't know where it's at until you're on it.
Right. So But that ate at him pretty good.
It did.
You could see it in the interview. That really, really, really ate at him.
But that made me earn more respect for him than I've had. So.
Oh yeah, because he's usually exactly just the opposite. Screw him.
Yeah.
Get out of my way.
But how about that red flag for that crash? We got the fan of the weekend, maybe fan of the year. He decided he was going to visit the racetrack and
a little liquid courage, I'm imagining.
Sheldon Creed, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see the interview with Creed?
Probably.
You know, he's kind of quiet and
Yeah.
reserved and easygoing, and he's like, yeah, he just kind of came up there, and I didn't know what to do. Hi. You know, like, oh.
Yeah. He's like, I think he was wasted.
Yeah.
But then, hey, he was smart. He was like, hey, man, how's my damage?
Yeah, that's right. He did ask him that.
And according, I don't know how true all this is, but Tommy Baldwin, from his sources, say that the dude came up and he asked him how the damage was. He's like, oh, man, it's bad. And also, according to Tommy, Sheldon lied about it at the time because he didn't want to be NASCAR to be thinking this was some stage thing or to get their team in trouble. But apparently, Tommy says that Sheldon admitted after the race that was actually, because that's Sheldon's hometown.
Yeah.
He said that was actually somebody he went to school with.
Okay.
And the dude just thought the race was over and wanted to talk to him.
Oh, I'll be darned. Well, maybe they'll take it easy on the guy. I hope so. People are going to make mistakes.
Yeah, and I mean, it'll make a good highlight reel or whatever.
Oh, yeah. He needs to go on a podcast and tell that story. Well,
Yeah.
You see, I was sitting in the stands, and I saw my buddy.
Yeah, but that was funny. I enjoyed that. And, you know, apparently he's already out. They say that now they just mailed charges to him. So.
Yeah. Well, maybe they'll take it easy on the guy. No, the cars were parked. I understand.
You're on a Navy base.
Yeah, maybe the guy could have been a crazed idiot and put somebody in danger, but he didn't, and he wasn't. Apparently, he was somebody that had known him before. So, rules are rules, but let's take it easy on the guy.
Yeah.
It made for a good story. And they had plenty of those this weekend. That's just no one added to it.
Yeah. Well, the next good or crazy story, the manhole cover, or as Dale Jr. says, sewage cover, because no man can fit, comes loose and goes through Corey Day's radiator on lap 1.
Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't the guy that welded that down.
Yeah. But that was interesting, so I think we can both agree that we were not thrilled with NASCAR's decision to run 5 or 6 caution laps before throwing the red.
Not just not thrilled, just don't understand it whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know you got a giant hole in the car. There's no way you can race. Immediately throw the red. I mean, that's just common sense. Throw the red. The other side of it, they did right. They said, go fix your car. Don't worry about the red. Just work on your car. But had they just thrown the red then, they would have eliminated the half a stage of running under caution.
Letting him make up the lap.
He'd have still been on the lead lap. The car would have been fixed. Not perfect, but at least pretty raceable, apparently.
Yeah, he came back to the top 10. Didn't he?
Yeah, I think
he got 10th.
Yeah, finished 10th. His best lap was better than some of the people ahead of him, so the car wasn't that horrible.
Yeah, but the red flag should have came out immediately, and then, like we said,
that was a screw up.
Yeah. Now, here's the debate. It sounds like you're saying that it was right by NASCAR to let him repair and come back out. You think that was
100%. I mean, that was no fault of the teams. They did absolutely nothing wrong. A part of the track come up and destroyed their car.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that was the way it played out was wrong, but it was the right thing to do. Or I believe so. I would have been upset had I been on the team, or even if I'd have been a competitor.
Yeah.
And they took a guy out like that.
Well, the next thing to this, I agree with you there, but the thing that people are talking about now, where do we draw the line? Now, if this happens on lap 20 in the race, do they still make the same call? And the precedence of it, because there's some people that don't like it because you think back to Jeff Gordon having the concrete go through his door or whatever, and
Right.
then Jamie McMurray had his issues, and NASCAR didn't even allow him to work on the car under the red flag, and so it's not something they've done before. And on that hand, I think it's okay that this should be the new way to go about things, and yes, it's okay to change how we've done things because this is probably the right way, but like I say, where do we draw the line depending on what lap the stuff happens? Now, if somebody throws something on the track at a car and it caused an issue, do we still make the same decision?
No, I don't think you can stop a race for something like that. But if something comes up on the track and you got to repair it wasn't a guarantee that he could fix his car.
Yeah.
That wasn't a guarantee. It's like, if you can do this, we'll put you back in. And they did. They didn't put him back. I don't know where he was running at the time. I know he was towards the back, but they put him back.
Yeah, he started last.
To start back at the tail. So, yeah, unfortunately, there's going to be things out of their control that they can happen. How about let's go this way? Yeah, if it's in their control and they can fix the situation in a reasonable amount of time, fix it.
Yeah.
What is a reasonable amount of time? In this case, the reasonable amount of time was the amount of time it took to fix the problem on the track.
Yeah.
Not only, as my understanding was, not only did they go weld that one in, they went around and checked the others to make sure that there wasn't another problem, which was the right thing to do. Do you want that to happen on lap, your fourth lap or the next lap or halfway through the race, like you were saying? So,
yeah.
No, I think that they played that right, and I think that's the way to do it. And unfortunately, it can't be we got a rule for this, because how you going to make a rule? Yeah, right. Yeah. It's got to be, but I think that one played out perfectly for them, other than all the caution laps that just wasted time that people wanted to see them racing.
Yeah. All right, well, I agree with you there. The only thing I got for O'Reilly is I want to give a shout out to Jeremy Clements. He breaks the all-time start record this weekend. I believe 548 starts.
Yep, Kenny don't have it no more.
Yep. So maybe we can talk to Kenny about that.
Yeah, he's supposed to interview with us. I hope we're working towards that. But yeah, that'll be something to bring up. How does he feel about not being the all-time start leader?
Yeah, because he's always said himself he's the mayor. He's got more starts than anybody else, but no longer.
No.
They said Jeremy started in 2003 at Pikes Peak. And
this is a family-run deal, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't like this is, big money backers and all that.
Yep.
So you got to figure them boys been hammering hard to do this for this long.
Yeah.
I don't know what their employee count is or anything like that, but it's definitely way below what a lot of these other teams are.
Yeah.
So that's dedication, my friend. That's dedication.
All right, we ready to go to the trucks?
No, let's make a couple of shouts to some people that did have some good finishes.
All right.
And what I want to talk about is, and I just want to have a discussion. Parker Retzlaff, the finishes he had this year, do you think their car is that good?
No. He's been on a lot of Cup radars because of what he's doing in that car.
Is he? Okay. That's what I was hoping, that there are people looking at him going,
Brad
boy, this
Diddy's
guy's got talent. All right.
Yeah.
I would love to see him get a good opportunity and see where that went. I really would. I don't know a whole lot about him other than the little bit you see on him there, but yeah, he needs to be on somebody's radar.
Yeah, he's on them. But I have some potentially unfortunate news on that, I guess. Legacy announced last week. I think they announced it. It might have been a rumor, but it's just like Jesse Lover where you know it's true.
Yeah.
They announced that they're signing a very valuable prospect to their sim driver, the guy that just stays in the shop testing stuff for them.
Mm-hmm.
And every single reply was like, it's Retzlaff, it's Retzlaff, it's Retzlaff. So it sounds like Parker is now being signed to be Legacy's test driver for their stuff at the shop.
I think he would be a good one. I mean, seems to get the most out of the car.
Yeah. Yeah, so I worry how much that ties him down, because that means he's sticking with Toyota. And he actually, remember, he ran a Toyota in a truck race just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
He's not driving a Toyota in O'Reilly. So it looks like that transition is happening.
Yeah.
I just worry what opportunities that will provide him, because 2311 Joe Gibbs are locked down.
Right.
Legacy sounds like they're signing Herbst to the ride, and he'll be the test driver.
Yeah.
Like I said, Denny's talked about him. Do you think Parker becomes their next guy to run in the open car next year, part-time in the 67?
I don't know.
That could be.
Why don't instead of trying to do all that crap, let's try to get him in a good O'Reilly's car and let him run a season or two in there, and
Yeah.
see what it frees up after that. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know how old he is, but he can't be that
I
old.
think he's like 20.
Yeah, he's young
Or he
enough.
might only be 20. I think he's, yeah.
Get him in a good O'Reilly's ride. Let him do that for a year or two.
He's 22.
Okay, well let's go that route instead of trying to cram somebody into something.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he's not going broke. He's kind of skinny. I don't think he's going hungry, but yeah.
Well, he's on the, like I say, it looks like he's going to the Toyota side. So, yeah, I mean, if Cruz steps up to the 11, then he could take over that 19.
Yeah, quit fast tracking people. Let's let them keep racing where they are. You know, you got fans in all these divisions, and they get him in a good ride. I imagine his fan base will build to begin with, and then then we can work towards getting him in a cup ride when the time's more right. I just wanted to bring him up because I've been impressed with him. Really impressed
He's
with
on
him.
a lot of radars. Who else is that? Or you got
Yeah, that's it.
somebody?
I'm done. I'll quit now.
You're good. I guess we do have to make the breaking news, huge news announcement that Jesse Love was able to cut in 24 points on the Hog point lead. Yes.
He's right on his tail now, ain't he?
Only back, 226
26. Yeah.
Huge day for him.
The Allgaier had a suck day from get to go. Yeah.
And that's their first bad one. So, and he can afford about 10 more.
Yeah.
And there's only
he was probably worried he was going to get caught this week, but no. I don't know what their deal was, man. Yeah, they sucked all day long.
Yeah.
I think he had one run where he got up in some decent position, and then the motor started puking. I think you said he broke a valve spring or something, but it just wasn't his day.
Yep. All right, well, let's go to trucks. Layne Van Rigsbergen. I got that right?
It depends. Better be careful saying that. Apparently that pissed off a few people. I thought it was extremely funny.
Yeah.
When he popped out with that, I actually laughed out loud sitting there watching the race that night. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. He had to be praying he won that race so he could say that.
Yeah, he said it personally after his first street win a few months ago, and he was like, if I win the next one, I'm going to say it in my interview.
Yeah, that was good. And, he's an upbeat, happy, smiling all the time kind of guy. So, yeah, I think that was great.
Yeah, but people cry about anything.
I'm not going to say he is a shame, but the boy, he was up on the wheel for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess he's got to be another one now that a prospect I'd be looking at. I mean, he's proven now that he can run good everywhere.
Yeah.
It don't matter where they're at. That truck is near the front. But, I guess let's just go into the race there. He said himself, his truck started sputtering, I think, a lap and a half before the finish.
Yeah.
And that whole last lap, his truck was running out of fuel on the straightaways, and he's just trying to coast. And that experience move, he says he made, he knew he wasn't going to be able to do nothing to get around Rice, so he said he just faked sticking his nose in there to try to scare him.
Yeah.
And it worked. It scared him. He blew his chicane, screwed up, and Layne takes the win. But still, you have to give a shout out to Rice. I think, believe that's only his 7th start. He's very, very young.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the first time he's ever even led a race. And they were trying everything they could to get him out of the way, or at least Hemrick was. I think Hemrick tried to wreck him.
Yeah.
So, just that one corner got him, but shout out to him. And then I want to talk about Honeycutt. It's just, he does not seem to have what it takes to keep his head straight and make the smart decisions that you talk about. He's just constantly, I swear he hit the wall trying too hard, probably 4 or 5 times Friday night.
Yeah.
And he wrecked Chandler Smith out of the lead. Chandler was probably going to win the race.
Yep.
And Honeycutt takes him out.
Well, yeah. You know, those are things you can work on, though.
Yeah.
It's hard to work on somebody that can't lead a race. It really is.
Yeah.
It's easier to work on somebody that's over aggressive.
Well, that's true. I think that is the number one
but
thing.
But his
on.
attitude might need a touch of work as well, I think.
Yeah, that's true, but.
And some of that may be that he needs to have more understanding that he can't win every race. You know, he's not Corey Heim.
Yeah.
He's got.
And I think that's
work on your skills. You're not trying to match what Heim did. He probably is in his mind.
He is. He's in the
I think
same truck, and I think he.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's probably got a lot to do with it.
If he don't go out there and win 12 races, he thinks that everybody else is gonna think that he's a failure.
Yeah,
and
I watched him drive. He's not there. But then I can look down the list and tell you there's nobody else that is either. So
yeah.
Look at it that way. You're not alone. You know, you're not in a pack hunting by yourself. Heim's few and far between of a driver.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. He's not on my radar as being somebody to be a fan of probably ever, but
no.
The boy is uber talented. Uber.
Yeah.
Good God, he's good.
Yeah, all right. Well, I just wanted to.
But he's still got a shot at being the champion this year.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely got the equipment for him to do it. I think we're down to 2 people right now because just unfortunately, Smith should be there, but his season just has gone nowhere. Not like it should have.
When they reset it, he'll be right back in the
race. Yeah, he will, and things could turn around then. But if things don't improve for him, I think it's a 2-horse race at this point.
I got my money on Layne because he just seems to be executing.
Yeah.
Even when he's not winning, he's taking what he can get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he's had a turnaround with that part of it too. Because see, that was something
Yeah.
The same with Honeycutt in some of the aspects. Know what you got. Know what you're working with. Do the best you can with what you got. And I think he had somebody get in his head, or maybe he just finally figured it out. Hey, I can't win every week.
Yeah.
And I definitely can't do it all in one lap.
Well, somebody that got to watch these guys up close and personal, and got to share his very valued opinion on all of this situation was Jimmy Johnson, who actually leads a lap or 2.
Yeah.
And was actually competitive.
Till he won.
Yeah. But that was cool. Well,
yeah.
It wasn't his fault. Apparently he had a voltage issue.
Yeah, that's it. I think we learned a lot about Jimmy Johnson this week too, though, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently he's not the cool, calm, reserved, non-emotional guy that everybody thought he was.
Yeah, they said for years, I've heard guys say, if you actually know him, he's very fun to hang out with. But we finally got a live and up close and personal interview with Jimmy Jam, as they say. He was having a fun time, had him a couple drinks.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. I've never been a Jimmy fan, but it was cool to see him leave,
Yeah.
be competitive again. And I'll just tell you, I don't know if you saw, but he said the amount of disrespect that he witnessed on that track is just crazy. He said he don't really know how they go back, but he said it was just terrible how much they were running each other over and wrecking stuff for no
Yeah.
reason. But I guess mentioning that style that they like to use now, the other last thing I want to hit on from this race is the Adam Andretti Parker Kligerman incident. I don't know that did you ever actually see what Parker was mad about?
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't know there was ever any footage of it, but according to Parker,
What I saw was vague and, yeah, not good, but.
Well, from what Parker said, Adam had moved him out the way earlier in the race. So Parker, when he got to him, he just let him know, hey, that wasn't cool, but he went around him and kept rolling. And then apparently Parker's side by side with somebody, I can't remember who, and he said that Adam just comes in there like a crazy person, wide open, and just runs straight into him and just stays in it trying to wreck him. And he didn't appreciate that. So
yeah.
That's the part that everybody saw after the race.
Right.
And Parker got him pretty good. He said, I didn't even know who you were. Didn't know you were an Andretti, but I'll tell you, you don't do much to add to the name.
Right. I heard that part. Okay. I'm gonna have to go with probably Parker on that because he always seemed to do a real good job.
Yeah, he's much more respected.
Yeah.
A lot of people said if you made him that mad, you really probably must have screwed up.
Yep.
But that's it from that race.
Hold on now, wait a minute. We got to give a shout out to our boy Butterbean.
Where he won?
7th.
7th?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ram got him a couple in there.
Yeah,
right?
Justin Haley was 6th. Butterbean was 7th. So. And he actually was competitive there towards the end of the race. You could tell they didn't have the speed that some of the other trucks had, but he looked a lot more competitive than what they have.
They're on the same.
And Tyrell finished 11th, so their day wasn't bad. I know they had some other stuff going with McMurray and LaJoy, but they just had problems.
Yeah, LaJoy had a mechanical issue, I think.
Yeah, but
McMurray was.
We got to stick with our boy Butterbean. I know Dodge is a Ram. I guess they're not a Dodge. They're a Ram. Is fighting to get a foothold in the series and get some better information on their trucks and make them do better. But hey, top 10 is not a bad day.
No, him and Truck is the same situation. AJ's fighting in Cup.
Yeah, where's he at?
He's right outside the chase.
14th. Yeah.
He's a little. I don't remember the number, but he's close-ish.
290 to 10th is 279. Yeah, he's not far.
Hey, look at who else right there. What are you, 12th?
Huh? Yeah. 288, yeah.
Missed like 8 or 9 races now, but whatever.
Once in a lifetime, buddy. You don't get many drivers like that. There's few enough. We got Gordon Johnson, just a few that are really that kind of superstar power. Maybe Tony Stewart. This is where this guy's at. That's how good he is.
Yeah. I guess you mentioned him. I forgot about him, honestly, but I just want to say real quick, while it's cool to have Clint Boyer and Jamie McMurray come back to a race, I don't even know that I enjoy it because they are so uncompetitive. Like, they're not having fun themselves. I know at least Jamie was not.
No, and
he said that he had no interest in trying it ever again, and he didn't ever seem interested beforehand. They must have paid him a lot of money.
No, and I'm sure they're trying to get notoriety, and all that in the Rams. I put some names in there, but I don't know.
Guys like that, I don't even think I don't think they have enough left in them to give anything of value back to the team.
Yeah.
I think you're out there just for the name, and that is it. And I don't think it's worth it. But whatever.
I can't say that I disagree with that. But if they want to race, let them race. I mean,
Yeah.
If you got to beg them to race, is the juice worth the squeeze?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
All right. Well, moving on to other news, I guess. They announced this week that Kurt Busch is going to race in the NASCAR Le Mans.
In the what?
I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if you can look it up and see, but
NASCAR Le Mans?
apparently Kurt's racing in it in his old Monster Energy car, and he's going to put the number 8 on it for Kyle. As a tribute. So that'll be
NASCAR Le Mans. Modified next gen Camaros. NASCAR stock cars en route to Le Mans for 4th of July weekend, 50 years after they first deafened tender-eared racing fans at Le Mans. NASCAR stock cars are returning to the famous circuit this summer. So there you go.
Yeah. So that'll be cool. Kurt's going to run the 8.
Is that a 24-hour race or what?
I don't know.
I'm gonna read a little bit and see. I'm sorry, I didn't.
All I know is Kurt's running it with the 8 car.
30-car grid. Le Mans circuit. It's time for testing, qualifying, and 3 35-minute sprint races.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I was glad to hear that for him. And other Kyle Busch news. I don't know if you saw, but the Senate actually recognized him. And I think they're talking about trying to pass a thing to make 8/18 Kyle Busch Day.
Really? Cool.
So, just shows you once again how big his whole thing was. And something funny. You'd know more about this than me, actually, but I guess to hunt, we're going way off the rails here, but to hunt moose, you have to get a permit, and I'm guessing the permit is a lottery.
Yeah.
You can't just all
Yeah, some of those things are, like bear hunts and different things. Alligator. But here we have alligator hunts that are on a lottery. They give $500 a year to Georgia residents or something.
Well,
and you have to apply for it every year until you get lucky enough to be selected.
The Fish and Wildlife Center announced a couple days ago who won their moose hunting permit lottery, and Kyle won it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, darn.
So he got him a moose hunting permit. Everybody he's still winning stuff even when he'd gone.
Yeah.
But that was just something interesting, I thought. Let's see. And even, this don't have to be brought up, but it's just something I thought about with people thinking about how he raced and whatever, and us talking about Reddick letting Heim go. They were telling stories of when Kyle would, there was one race, I want to say Darlington, that he accidentally knocked Greg Biffle out of the way, and they said that he lifted and let Biffle go back by so that he could pass him the right way.
Yeah.
And that was just one of those examples of if you were fair to him, he was fair to you. But so there was that. Let's see what else. Not much news here yet, but I've heard the rumors starting to pick up, so it's coming. There was a bunch of debate this past week about the qualifying metric, and 70% being based off of your last race, so it keeps these people in a hole every time because you end up having to go out first on the green or the not green track.
Yeah.
And you're guaranteed to qualify near the back, and then you get caught up again, and it's just the cycle never ends. There's a big talk this week about going back to more of a points-based ranking so that you're not being screwed every week off of how you ran last week.
Yeah.
And Tommy Baldwin said multiple times now that there's big news coming for qualifying next year.
What do you think is the best bet?
I think it should be off of points.
I think it should be off of a lottery or a draw.
Yeah, that was another one that people threw in there.
A draw like you do at short track. You draw, and hey,
Yeah.
what you get's what you get.
There was a lot of people that suggested that one, but I kind of agree with Denny that I don't like that because say that you're in a championship race and it's between Brad and
Well,
somebody.
you can change it for
Yeah.
that. You can change it for that, but throughout the regular season, just draw for it.
Yeah.
And then when you get down, you got your 16 guys going for the end. Well, give them preferred.
Yeah.
If they need to go last, let them be the last 16 to go out. They've earned that right.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
They've earned that right.
Well, anyway, so Tommy says that there are big changes coming for it next year. So I guess
Okay.
we'll keep waiting and see.
Yeah.
He's the only person I've heard say that, but he said it multiple times. So
He should know.
yeah. Just mention Chris Buescher. There were talks of him possibly going to the 2-car and some other things. It's official. He's returning. They've signed his contract with RFK.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Jesse Love officially signed to the 21. There was actually rumors of him going to a Penske car and dropping Cindric to the 21, but officially
I think we knew that.
to the 21, yeah. So nothing new there.
You think that's a good move
No.
for anybody at this point?
Nope. I think he is officially
Kill
made
his career?
himself another Josh Berry, Harrison Burton. The list goes on and on and on of how many people they put there, and Matt DiBenedetto. I mean, who has the Wood Brothers produced in the last 30 years besides
Ryan Blaney.
Ryan Blaney?
That's it. Everybody else has not done well.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's on the Wood Brothers. I just think that's just the metrics of things with them trying to work with Penske, and it's not like, I don't know, they're probably not getting the best of the best.
No. And you gotta hate it for Barry because he kind of seemed like the fall guy on this. I mean, it's clearly not just the driver.
I'm hoping he can pick him up a good. I don't
Well,
see.
that's
I don't
what
see there was a cup ride open, so. And
That's-
he don't need to drive something that just might a starting parkish type deal. He needs to be in a good O'Reilly's car.
Yeah.
I'll put him in something. The boy's got talent.
Well,
I
here's-
just think he was able to display it where he was at.
The rumor here that is starting might happen. They're thinking Barry's to the 4-car next year and Gregson's moving to the 33.
Really? And taking the Bass Pro with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that might be what's going to happen.
Well, I do know that the owner of Bass Pro has a heck of a good relationship with Childress, and
Oh,
them,
yeah.
so I can see that.
Yeah, so-
I think they're hunting buddies and everything else.
Yeah. And then
That would make a lot of sense. Do they want Gregson?
I think so. You don't
They
think Gregson?
they had Kyle in his history, so
Yeah.
Gregson's a fireball too.
Yeah, I think he'd fit in great with them.
Yeah.
Just the personality. Richard loves personality.
Yeah, probably so.
All right, so there's that. We got a whole bunch of stuff just throwing out here. Let's see. You want to go through the bracket? The bracket's locking up this week.
Oh, we got to get into that. Dang, I hadn't even looked at it, Austin. To be honest with you.
Let's do a live run through.
Okay.
And pull it up.
Give me a second. I got a new phone this week, so I'm slower than slow. Not now.
While you're looking for it, I want to throw out some other things. Just mentioning NASCAR on the upward trajectory, cool things happening with sponsors. Hardee's is actually now doing the Bubba Wallace meal. You can get you a Bubba Wallace car if you go order her there. Red Bull is putting out a drink with Connor Zilish and SVG you can buy out of the stores. We talked about the San Diego movie. There was the Undercover movie with Ryan Blaney. It's actually a show Eli Manning does, but he had Blaney on as the celebrity this time. Very funny. I highly recommend watching. He was dressed up as this really old London guy. He did the accent and all, and he's out there racing against Penske fans and go-karts, and he's running 5 seconds faster as an old grandpa.
Yeah.
And bumping people. And he's like, long live the queen, while he's racing. But he's in the Penske shop with the fans, and he's pulling crackers out of his pocket. It's just... That was funny. Larson documentary, I've watched about half of it. Very cool videos and pictures of him from newborn up, going to school in his Jeff Gordon outfit. I mean,
I've seen those pictures before. Yeah, he was a fan.
Yeah, so there's that. I want to mention real quick, Steve Wade passed away in the list of guys that keep going. Reporter since 1971, probably one of the longest lasting guys we've had. And he told some great stories.
Yeah, if you never listened to any of his stories, or if you never paid attention to him in years gone by, go back and look at it. And he was just one of those guys that had that personality, and that you could tell he loved what he was doing, and he was doing what he loved.
And he was nice to everybody, they say.
Yep.
But just a couple stories I heard, just so you know what you can go look for. He talked about North Wilkesboro back in the 40s, 1947. The guys would get out there, the moonshiners, and they just tie themselves in with a rope, and the winner was usually somebody that just survived. And he said that people would be knocking out people in the stands, and they'd hang their whoever they beat out in front of the cars as they were coming, and then yank them back in the fence. And said they had to cancel a race because they had worms all over the track and they couldn't get them in.
Yeah.
Now, another funny one, he said they were in the press box the year Reagan was at the 500, and the FBI was in there sitting with him, monitoring the situation, whatever. And Ken Reagan blows up on the racetrack, and one of the reporters beside him, he's like, "Hey, Steve, watch this." And he's like, "Reagan's blown," and everybody just like freaks out. Dude, like, but he had some great stories, and just wanted to mention him.
If you get a chance and you're into that kind of thing, go back and look at some of the archives that he's done. Great guy.
NASCAR's posted their next game. NASCAR 26 is in the works. Kyle Larson's on the cover for those who care. So that's some other news. And I think that's pretty much all I got except for the bracket.
I got my bracket up.
All right.
I guess I got to start it this week too, don't I?
Yeah, it locks up this week. So.
You think anybody's going to win the $1 million this time? No. Okay. There, you had all these people last year. Boy, I'm going to do good. I'm going to win. Boy, you got shut down in a hurry.
At least this year it starts at a road course. You got a little bit better shot than the plate track.
Yeah, maybe we can move on. Okay.
So what are you thinking? What we got?
You want me to read off who I got? Reddick and Bowman?
So this is at Sonoma, right?
Yes, sir. Round 1, Sonoma.
You thinking Reddick?
Oh, heck yeah.
All right. What's next?
Cindric and Brad Keselowski. Could be a toss-up, and especially after the way Cindric ran.
I think he got back to a decent finish, though.
Yeah.
And Brad is on the struggle bus. He's right out of 5 races, I think.
Still.
So you got Brad?
Cindric could have got it caught up in something, too, and Brad sometimes has a way of eking out a decent finish when he shouldn't. I don't know. That one for me is a toss-up. I think I We'll probably go with Cindric, but I'm not
Yeah,
100%
that's
on
what I'm
that.
going with.
Yeah, I'm not 100% on that yet. Suarez and Gilliland. I'm going to go Suarez on that
Yeah,
one.
he got a lot of speed.
Gilliland has not done bad on the road courses,
Yeah.
but I'll go with Suarez.
Suarez.
Hocevar and Zane Smith. Now, here's a good one.
Yeah, that is really a toss-up, I think.
Hocevar is 9th in points, and Smith's way back in 24th. But
we're at a road course.
We're at a road course, and this isn't indicative of what it's been like for the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, Zane's been extremely fast. Just finished 4th this week. But Hocevar
that was probably a bigger toss-up than the other ones.
Oh yeah, it definitely is.
That could go either way. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look at it.
Carson said he was shocked. That's the first time he's ever been good on a road course. So.
Yeah.
And he said that he did better on the street course than he does on traditional road courses. Right. So I think I'm going with Zane.
That part of it makes you want to. Yeah. From what he's done recently, yeah, that's probably a smart bet. Even though he's 24th and Carson's 9th, I think Zane might be the smart bet there.
Yeah.
And then you got Briscoe and Allmendinger. Allmendinger's been around this track a few times.
Looking at this year, Briscoe struggled so much, and AJ just got him another top 5.
Yeah.
But then I think back to last year at Sonoma, Briscoe was challenging SVG at times, ran 2nd, and AJ ran terrible, like 20-something.
Yeah.
So, you go off of that or this?
I'm gonna tend to want to go with AJ on this.
Yeah, I think I'm going with AJ. All right.
Ty Gibbs and Austin Dillon. Imagine that.
I think that's Ty Gibbs.
Huh? Yeah, that's an easy one there. He got him a break this time. Last year's winner gets nobody's a freebie, but that's Bubba Wallace and McDowell. Could be better than we think after this week.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Bubba.
I would have said McDowell 100% until we saw what we did.
Bubba just ran 2nd.
Yeah. I'm still probably going to go more with McDowell because he's got a lot of laps on this track.
Yeah.
Bubba does too, but not laps running as well as McDowell has.
Yeah, and McDowell just ran 2nd at Watkins Glen, and it seems to, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, these guys are really saying, like, this street course thing is different than a road course.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think McDowell.
Elliott and Gregson, I think that's a no-brainer. Yeah. All right, now let's go to the other side and see what we got. We'll start at the top here. We have Denny Hamlin and Ty Dillon.
That was Denny's got knocked out by Ty last year.
Yeah.
Can Ty do it 2 years in a row?
Probably not, but I'm going to go with him just because we still have our Ty Million shirt over there. So I'm going to go with Ty just to see what happens.
I'm going to go with Denny.
I figure I bet you'll be 85% going with Hamlin, but
yeah,
I'm going to put Dillon's name down when I do that one. I made up my mind. I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Jones and Logano.
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
I think Jones got 20th. I don't know how he ran at Watkins Glen. I don't honestly know how Jones is as a road course guy.
I don't know.
And Joey's not been spectacular.
No, Joey's almost Denny-ish at road courses. Oof, that'll take a little study in there. I'm going to probably say Logano, but I'm not sure.
All right.
What do you think? You going to take a little research on that one?
Yeah, but I'll probably say Joey for now because Penske has shown speed. I mean, we just saw Blaney check out Sunday for the beginning. So. Yeah.
Buescher and Nemechek, definitely a check for Buescher.
I think I'm going with Buescher, but John Hunter's ran top 10 at multiple
I know that,
courses.
but Buescher can knock out that top 5, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure here now. Honestly, I would have thought I'm not sure. Bell and Chastain. I think I'm going to have to. Definitely. We got to go with Chastain. I didn't think about that.
Not even gonna race.
Yeah, that's right.
That one's a handoff.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, we got to give that one to Ross. And he ran 7th the other day, and he's gotten better at the road courses.
He's always good at road courses.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll give that one to Ross. That's hard to think that we would be doing that, but
Yeah.
I think Belt will be out in round 1. Byron and Stenhouse.
Byron.
Yeah, definitely there. And then Kyle Larson and Raleigh Herbst, who actually had a decent looking run.
Yeah, he's a pretty good road course guy. So
I think Larson's getting on where he needs to
I'd
be.
still go with Larson, but I think Hertz could be closer than you would think.
They think that they figured out some of that Chevrolet stuff, and if any of them's going to benefit from it quick, it's going to be
He was the only one
Larson.
mixing in with 2311 Sunday.
Right. So we're going to give that one to Larson, Van Gisbergen, and Priest. I know
Well, I'll just tell you, Priest posted a video when he found this out. He walked in, looked at the bracket, and walked back out.
Yeah.
So he don't think he's gonna win.
No, but yeah. After this week, he needs to know anything can happen. Yeah. And then the last but not least is Blaney and Barry, and that's a definite for Blaney in my book. Yeah. I think some of those are no-brainers, but you never know.
Yep. So don't that move on to what's next?
That's them. That's all of them.
You got to do it the whole way through, though.
Huh?
Remember?
Oh my goodness! No, we're doing that. I don't know that I can remember all that.
No, you should be able to keep scrolling.
Huh?
You have to submit the whole entire.
Oh, I wasn't submitting nothing. I might change my mind.
Oh. Well, I'm just
There's
saying.
a couple of them. Okay. All right, let me see. I got to figure out how to do this.
Yeah, I can't help you there. I don't even remember.
Name your bracket. Oh, I got to do a whole thing to get this formulated. Name your bracket. I hadn't done nothing yet. Dang, we got to do this all the way to the end.
I mean, I don't guess we got to. I'm still trying to remember. I guess the next race would be Chicagoland.
Chicagoland, yeah. Then Echo Park, Atlanta, and then North Wilkesboro. And then Indianapolis for the championship round. If you want to, I'll set everything up, but we'll be wasting a lot of airtime here.
That's up to you. I did all mine's
up.
on my phone. We just can't look at it because my phone up there.
Yeah.
Chase Elliott's my winner.
Oh, you're ultimate?
Yeah.
Wow.
But
I haven't even set mine up yet. Like I said, I just got this phone, so I've been trying to go through a bunch of stuff. I haven't spent much time on there doing this sort of thing.
yeah.
That's probably not a bad pick.
Most people had Denny.
Yeah. How you gonna have Denny? I don't know. Maybe.
I just figured he'd get in another wreck at Echo Park because he could not seem to figure that one out the last 3 or 4
Right.
years.
Right.
So,
I was
don't
supposed
see
to
him
say, how you
making
gonna
it
have
through that.
Denny? I don't know.
Well,
I might wind up with like a Blaney in there, what I'm looking at here.
yeah.
Let's see, he's going to be up against Priest or Vance Giddenbergen. And then one of the, I don't know, he got Larson and Byron.
I took Larson.
Okay, yeah. Let me do mine and we'll go through it next week because
All right.
we're probably we'll have to write yours down. We'll write your bracket down before we get going.
All right, we'll do that.
And
So-
I'm sorry, I didn't create mine. I should have already had it done, but like I
It's
say,
all right. We gave y'all the round 1 pick, so your hardest step to being a millionaire is done for you. You have to do the rest on your own.
and if you get it, you will be the first.
Yeah, and please donate, be a sponsor to the Rookie Lap.
I don't think nobody made it through the first round last.
They didn't
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that was a 24-car pileup at Atlanta.
That's right.
And they said all brackets were
Holy
busted.
mackerel. Yeah.
New year, new shot, road course.
Yeah. Let's be glad they didn't start it last week.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm sure we'd have missed one or two there.
yeah.
But this is a more conventional thing, so hopefully it'll go more to be more of a normal race. Well, are we ready for 2 road courses in a row?
Yeah, I mean, we did it last year. At least this year it's not SVG dominating 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he'll get back to that this weekend.
Yeah, see, I figure on him getting his 60-something. Well, 50s, 53 points, somewhere in there, 55. I don't
Well,
think.
you get 55 for winning.
Huh?
So,
Oh, that's right. They did change that
Yeah.
this year.
so it's automatic
so-
if he wins.
Yeah.
And then, like I say, this is where he flipped the stage and still won it last year. So
You can't do that 2 years in a row. Come on.
You don't
now.
think so?
No. Somebody got to have some kind of strategy to
Hey, but
avert that.
I mean, you can't because they were out running full out, and he pit and came back out and passed them again.
Yeah, that's true. He
But-
come out like mid 5 or 6 or 7th spot or something, I think, or
Yeah,
be so far
So-
out. Yeah, that's true.
I think he'll get a high 60s, like 67.
Yeah, you're probably right. Of course, which ought to help him tremendously, but then does the downfall begin?
Yeah,
Oh well.
we'll see. So we'll talk to y'all after Sonoma.
Sonoma Mia, as a
If
buddy
you
of
made
mine
it
used
this
to call
far,
it.
thanks for making it this far. There was a lot to go on this week.
Yeah. Hopefully next week can have some of the same excitement in the race without as much of the drama.
Yeah. Well, we'll see y'all then.
All right, let's hear from all our
SVG.
SVG fans and find out what the words mean.
Yeah.
Maybe y'all can send us a little syllabus of what we need to
Kiwi
learn
Dictionary.
here. There we go. All right. Maybe we'll have our buddy back next week. We don't know.
See y'all then.
Bye.